So do you remember in June of 2016, the Pulse Nightclub Massacre in Florida? So this would have been June 12th of 2016. There were 49 people killed.
It was a gay nightclub, wasn't it?
3 hostages, correct.
Yes,
so,
I remember.
So the Harvard graduate, sitting president of America, addressed the nation 4 days later. And here's what he said. This was an attack on the LGBT community. Americans were targeted because we're a country that has learned to welcome everyone, no matter who you are or who you love. And hatred toward people because of sexual orientation, regardless of where it comes from, is a betrayal of what's best in us. So I hear this. And I assume, well, this must have been a raging homophobe who went on a homophobic tirade and murdered people.
I mean, I like that quote right now. What's wrong with
it? turns out. What's
wrong with that? I like that quote a lot.
There's a way to verify whether or not this is a true statement or a false statement coming from the president. You can look at the general goals of terrorism. It's generally a shortcut to fame and bringing attention to a certain idea, a certain topic. So what we'd want to do is look at the guy's last name was Mateen, Omar Mateen was his name.
Okay.
We want to see what he does when he has the most amount of eyeballs on him. So if he's giving a speech somewhere, we might hear him say, homosexuality is evil. We might hear him say, long live Islam, everyone should be converted. So what did he do when he had the most amount of people listening? It turns out he called 911 while he was in the Pulse nightclub, holding the 53 survivors hostage. Here is a quote from Omar Mateen that night. You have to tell America to stop bombing Syria and Iraq. They are killing a lot of innocent people. What am I to do here when my people are getting killed over there? You get what I'm saying? You need to stop the U.S. airstrikes. They need to stop the U.S. airstrikes, okay? They need to stop the U.S. airstrikes. You have to tell the U.S. government to stop bombing. They are killing too many women. They are killing too many children, okay? I feel the pain of people getting killed in Syria and Iraq. They need to stop bombing Syria and Iraq. The U.S. is collaborating with Russia, and they are killing innocent women and children, okay? The airstrikes need to stop and stop collaborating with Russia, okay? Tell the airstrikes need to stop. You see, now you feel how it is. So this was an attack on Americans that took place as a causal result of blowback terrorism because of the actions of the U.S. government. Barack Obama used his power and prestige to say, bunch of bigotry, and you know who's associated with bigotry? The right wing. So this is a problem for the right wing. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, that year, 2016, 24,000 bombs were dropped on Iraq and Syria that year alone. That is what we're up against. That is why progressivism never sees the state as the actual issue or the initiation of violence against peaceful people as the issue. They always say, see, too much bigotry, we need more DEI training, and that's got to be funded by the government. And every single tragedy is an excuse to justify the growth and power of government. President Bush did this on September 20th of 2001. He said, people are asking why they hate us. They hate us because their leaders are self-appointed, ours are democratically elected. They hate our freedom to disagree and converse with one another. The evidence is overwhelming that bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri would always say sanctions on Iraq through the 90s, support for Israel and their crimes against people in Gaza, the West Bank, and Lebanon were the motivating factors, along with the U.S. occupying Saudi Arabia, which they refer to as the land of two sanctuaries. So in every case, whether it's COVID, whether it's 9/11, whether it's the 2008 recession, anytime there's a crisis, the progressive will say, well, we just need the government, who's not accountable almost at all, to have more money and more power that comes at the expense of people being able to cooperate voluntarily in the free market. So progressivism, my general thesis is that it is a scam that we should see coming 1,000 miles away, just as when you get an email that says, hey, click here and win $10,000. I just need your social security number. We need to be so comfortable with recognizing that scam for what it is. We need to consider progressivism and the growth of government and the neocon wars of aggression as blatant scams that we should recognize on a default basis as being scams to be completely disregarded, whether it's war with Russia, war with Iran, war with China, a justification for locking down. Progressivism and big government is a scam just as much as the Nigerian prince email is.
Okay. Active Skin Repair utilizes a molecule called hypochlorous acid. Now, when you apply it to the skin, the molecule works by mimicking the natural immune response to cleanse, soothe irritation, reduce inflammation, and support healing. Active Skin Repair can be used to treat a wide range of skin issues, including cuts, scrapes, burns, sunburns, diaper rashes, and other types of skin damage. And it's also safe and non-toxic, making it suitable for use on all skin types, all parts of the body, and you can even use it on rosacea, eczema, and acne-prone skin. With over 500,000 happy customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, and ingredients so safe and clean they can be used by the youngest member of the family to the oldest, you now have one simple solution for all of your family's skin health needs. So visit ActiveSkinRepair.com to learn more about Active Skin Repair and to get 20% off your order. Use the code Jillian. Again, that's ActiveSkinRepair.com and the code is Jillian. As the temps start to rise, I get that familiar urge to refresh my closet. But I am done wasting money on trendy pieces that I wear once, which is why I'm obsessed with Quince. The clothes are timeless, elevated, built to last, no insane markup. I'm talking about 100% European linen shorts and dresses that start at just $30. Italian leather platform sandals, luxe swimwear that looks straight off a runway but costs half of what you'd expect. Quince partners directly with top-tier factories, cutting out the middleman so you get designer quality at a price that actually makes sense. And they only work with ethical, responsible manufacturers who care about people and the planet. Personally, I stocked up on the linen tees and the tanks, and believe it or not, a killer summer dress. Occasionally, I do wear dresses. And honestly, it finally feels like my wardrobe matches my standards. Upgrade your wardrobe at Quince.com. Luxury should never mean compromise. Team, give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to Quince.com/Jillian for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Jillian to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Jillian. Hold on. I don't even know where to begin. Okay. So essentially, this is a manipulation under the pretense of do-gooding to trigger people's empathy towards marginalized communities, which is all a ruse to gain more power and control and to get rights and an invasion of privacy and all this crap and wage more war and so on and so forth than people should have is essentially what you're saying just happened.
Correct. The way to test someone's sincerity is to see their dedication to an outcome regardless of the process. So when they say, I want to help the poor, let's grow government, you can say, well, are there any areas where the poor have been helped? Or when the poor have been helped in general, is it coming from government legislation? It's very clear that before the Civil Rights Act, you saw a drastic increase in black incomes and the number of blacks working in high-paid occupations. In the case of Japanese Americans, they went from Franklin Roosevelt's internment camps to equaling the income of whites in 1959 and then having incomes that exceeded whites by 1969 by 33%. The average Japanese income was 33% higher than the average Americans. There was no government plan to make sure the Japanese have higher incomes. There was more of an open immigration policy. But that is one way that we can test someone's theory, is we say, okay, you want to help the poor and your process is to increase the power of government. But we see in the case of Japanese people, they were able to drastically increase their wealth without some of these institutions. In the case of caring about the environment, for the longest time, it was like a threat in the back of the progressive mind that we might have to mandate electric cars if you idiots aren't going to get on board. And now we see them rioting against Tesla's, the greatest contributor to electric cars that there is. So they claim to have the goal, I want to help the environment. But anytime that goal is achieved outside the process of growing the state, they're extremely hostile to it. They tell us, I love education and the government should spend more on education. But they want to constantly regulate Twitter, regulate YouTube. They want to stop people from having school choice. Those are three things immediately which drastically increase the amount of education that people have access to. The the left is much bigger on book banning than the right. We can get into that. But when it comes to things that help the poor, it's not government programs. It's companies like Amazon, Uber, Lyft, Walmart. All of those have drastically increased the accessibility of access and services to people at lower income levels than any government program. Look at the decrease in poverty from 1860 to 1960, before there was ever LBJ's War on Poverty.
All right, tell me the truth. How many different beauty potions do you have sitting on your bathroom counter right now? Because if it's more than just Vibrance Super C Serum, you need to listen up. Because the ingredients in this one product can replace your day creams, eye creams, night creams, neck creams, wrinkle creams, and dark spot reducers. It's made in the USA with the highest quality ingredients, including vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, vitamin B5, and vitamin E. Super C Serum delivers noticeable results, so simplify your skincare routine. Get a healthier complexion and minimize wrinkles and age spots with Vibrance. And if you don't find it better than your current skincare routine, you'll get a full refund. So just go to Vibrance.com/Jillian to save up to 37% off, and you get free shipping. That's Vibrance, Vibriance, Vibrance.com/Jillian.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure to let me know what guests you want to see on in the future.